I'm a duck.
It's the motherfucking
certified duck.
So here's the question. You're fighting Stipe Miocic, and I know you're focused on that fight. If you defeat him, as you're a 6-1 favorite to win the fight, if you defeat him, will you defend your belt against Aspinall, who has the interim title?
More than likely not. More than likely not. I feel like Tom Aspinall is, I don't want to say nobody, but he just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't done anything. And I understand that. I mean, he won his belt against Sergey. Sergey just got slaughtered by someone else. So it's just like, I'm not here to gamble someone else making a name off of me. I'm here to compete against the guys where when we look back, 10 years from now, it'd be like Jon Jones fought this guy and that guy and this legend and this champion and this champion. If there were to be a fight of a guy that's still on our UFC roster that would be not only financially worth it, but legacy worth it, it would be Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira and I, we both 37.
Light heavyweight champ?
Yeah, we're both 37 years old. Right now, I weigh about 235. I'm an incredibly light heavyweight. I think Pereira walks around at 240. And I think that fight would go much farther on my legacy than a young man who's cool today and maybe gone tomorrow. I'm here for legacy. I've been gambling for way too long to just take random fights.
What made you decide that you didn't want to just continue dominating light heavyweight forever, that you wanted to move up?
I'm getting older, and things just naturally hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
And another thing, I felt like my fights at light heavyweight were getting closer, and I didn't really have too many really big names in the future to look forward to. I thought the big paydays that I had always dreamt about and the higher level of competition would be at heavyweight, and so now we're here. My coach, Greg Jackson, he always told me, he said, John, you're going to have a much easier time as a heavyweight than light heavyweights.
Now, why did he think so?
Typically, a lot of heavyweights don't train as hard as the lighter guys, and they try to pace themselves. They try to, manage their energy sources and things like that, where the lighter guys, they come ripped and ready to go 25 minutes every time.
Right. So when you had the injury, there was the chance that you could have walked away from this opponent and taken on a fight, Tom Aspinall. A lot of hype around Tom Aspinall in terms of a potential opponent for you. Why did you stick with Stipe?
He's just a perfect opponent. I also just got off an injury, and so to fight Stipe first, I feel like stylistically it makes more sense. I'm aware of Tom and the work that he's put in, or lack thereof, and I think he could have a tremendous future in the UFC, but when you've been around this long, you realize that people are here today and gone tomorrow. And maybe eventually, if he can earn some things in the UFC against Sergey, and Sergey just got murdered his last fight. So it's like you're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion.
Now, he said you stuck with the fight with Stipe after the injury because you wanted the easier fight. Does that register with you at all, or is it?
No,
just talk?
Is Stipe easier? That can't necessarily be said, especially by him. Mm-hmm. He's fought a bunch of up and comers, and he's looked good against up and comers. But you can't call Stipe Miocic an easier fight, despite the age.